What up, everybody in the YTBC? This is not going to be a long live. At least I don't plan on it. Also, if my girlfriend, she's at a doctor's appointment, and she calls me, then I'm gonna just end the live, whatever wherever I'm at that point. So I should be able to cover everything I want to. But just in the event that I'm mid sentence or whatever, like just a forewarning, I'll um I'll just end the live right then and there. Normally I would wait till I see some comments. Oh, there's some comments right now. What up, Brian Hargan? What up, H Money? Good work you doing, H Money. Black and Brown. Yeah. Um. So it's been kind of hard to balance stuff lately, but I mean that's just because of life stuff. I'm behind on the stuff that I've been working on with Red Glove Media, but I'm still working on it. If what up, AA Boxing and Blunts? But we had kind of a big weekend, so I just want to cover a couple things, and plus, there's even just today there's been some news that's being reported, so I just want to cover all that as quickly as I possibly can. But yeah, that's the reason why there's been lack of videos. I've been working on my stuff for Red Glove Media for my customer. He knows who he is. If he wishes to disclose that information, it's completely up to him. Um, it's like I said, you pay me, you don't have to give me credit or anything. It's a transaction. So, but I just want to throw that out there. That's why, really hasn't been no videos or nothing between Life and Red Glove Media. That's why. But like I said, there's some boxing stuff that I want to cover. First off, congratulations, or actually, no, that's not the first thing I want to cover. First, I want to go ahead and take this time to recognize Marvelous Marvin Hagler, one of the best middleweights to ever do it. Um, I actually spoke with my father yesterday. We talked a little bit about it, and I didn't know this about my dad, but Marvin Hagler is his favorite middleweight of all time. Now I knew he liked Marvin Hagler. I even brought up like the argument that we hear here on YouTube, and that is, oh, who's better, Hagler or Monzon? He doesn't even think it's close. He thinks Hagler takes it. That's right, H Money. Rest in peace to Marvin Hagler. What up, Laron 9817? That's right. 10 bell salute. If I had a bell, I would do it. I don't. So I can only do with what I'm given or what I currently have. What I have is my respect. So I'm paying my respects to Marvin Hagler. He's one of the best to ever do it. It's unfortunate. We're not really sure exactly what he died of. Rumor. All we know, I'm not even gonna say rumor. All we know is that COVID was involved in some way, shape, or form. I've heard that it was the disease itself, and I've also heard that it was the vaccine. Which one it is, I don't know, and I'm not gonna speculate. I'll let his family disclose that information if they ever feel that they want to, and if they don't, then I respect it. But I don't need to know what he died of to pay the man respect. What up, Nordic Warrior? Yeah, I did hear that it was the vaccine. So, um, regardless of what he died of, I'm just gonna say, you know, we've lost another legend. It's part of life. We're gonna lose people that we're gonna. When you're living on this earth, you're gonna lose people you love. You're gonna lose people you respect. You're gonna lose people that you look up to, and that's why we gotta appreciate people while we have them. I try to appreciate you guys. Hopefully, you guys appreciate me. Tomorrow is promised to no man, and it, it's just one of those things. One of those things. It's sad to hear, but we should definitely take some time to reflect on his career and to acknowledge his greatness. So, yeah, shout out to Marvin Hagler. You know, he's now moved on to that next echelon, and some people believe in life after death, some people don't. I do. I'm not gonna try to convince y'all otherwise. But yeah, I believe I'll see Marvin Hagler again one day. Might even spar a little bit. But yeah, much respect to Marvin Hagler. All right, so I just want to talk about this Chocolatito fight just real quick. Um, I don't want it to seem like I'm addressing anybody specifically because I'm not. All I want to do is I want to say this, okay? If you had Chocolatito winning, I think that's perfectly fine. If you had Estrada winning, I think that's perfectly fine. If you had it a draw, I think it was perfectly fine. I think the fight, both men went in there. They did the best that they could. They left it all in the ring. They gave us one hell of a show. And the fans won. This was a night that the fans, you know, we were mourning the death of a legend, but we were rejoicing in the competition that happened. And I really think that both men have nothing to be ashamed of. Big shout out to Minimax. I saw that he left or he did a tweet talking about that he was shocked at how many people were booing Estrada. Unfortunately, people, I'm not even going to say bias. I mean, some of it is. You got to remember, there's probably a lot of people who were in that arena who placed a bet. you know, and shout out to 1-2 Kid. What up, Toby Bartlett? And Fat Apples and the Boxing Jedi, Iron Kong, Intangible. Appreciate each and every one of you. Um, I honestly can't be mad at anybody for how they see it. I just don't think it was a robbery. I don't think it could have been a robbery. The only way it could have been yeah, I don't think it could have been a robbery. And I'm not referring to the judge. I'll get to that in a moment. That judge was wrong because that fight was definitely closer than what he had it. Way closer. To me, it was a razor thin margin. I I I actually said I want Chocolatito to win, which I did. I'm not an Estrada fan, and I said, but I think Estrada's gonna pull it off. And according to the judges, the official ruling, he did. But I can't be mad at anybody who feels that Chocolatito won that fight. I just am not going to agree with you if you say that he won it hands down. That that part I won't completely agree with you on. But I'm not mad at how you have it because this was a really good fight and it was really close. And depending on what you look for in a fight, you might you might have it more of a blowout. Um, and that's fine. The scoring is kind of subjective to an extent. So, but congratulations to Estrada for getting the win. Yeah, there was a lot of fans booing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think if Chocolatito won, I think there'll be a lot of fans booing then. It has a lot to do with who your guy was. So in some people's cases, who they bet on. And I think some people they fall in love with their predictions, or they really thought that they had some money coming their way and instead they lost money, and it's hard for them to swallow that pill. I'm not making any assumptions on anybody in particular. I'm just saying in general, I think that happens a lot. So, but I think the fans won. Even if you lost money, you won because you got to see a good fight. Now, how much weight you put into that, that's completely up to you. But I'm not gonna say that Chocolatito got robbed. Um, and I can honestly say, if it was the other way around, I wouldn't be saying that Estrada got robbed. They both put on a hell of a show, you know. So I think it's just one of those things. So yeah, but I'm not gonna call anybody a fanboy, regardless of how they had the fight. I think it was just that good of a fight. All right, so big shout out to both men, and congratulations to the victor. And let's go ahead and talk about the last thing, which is the AJ Fury, what is being called breaking news, that the fight is signed and sealed. All right. If you're calling it breaking news, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I'm not going to do that, but it's your prerogative. I understand there's people who, and I'm not, this could be taken the wrong way, but it's not the way that I mean it. But I understand there's people who they they're trying to be the breaking news guy. And that's fine. I've never tried to be that guy. You know, if somebody put, like right now, somebody puts in the chat breaking news, this fight is made. At that moment, I'm going to evaluate as quickly as I can in my head how realistic this really is. And I'm going to say, but I'm not even really going to say breaking news. You know, I'll say it appears that this fight is happening. Because at the end of the day, if I'm going to say something is news, I want it to be true. I don't want to be just like breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, just for views. I want views, don't get me wrong, but I want them the right way. I want people to view me because they want to view me. I want people to view me because I'm keeping it real. I want people to view me because of, my work speaks for itself, not because I'm trying, I'm just trying to be the first guy out there with some news, you know. But Tangible say he had an A4 Chocolatito. That's perfectly fine. Um, but yeah, but back to this whole AJ Fury thing, you know, I'm still not going to get my hopes up. With this particular fight, for multiple reasons, there's many reasons why I'm gonna say what I'm about to say. But I literally won't believe this fight till both men are in the ring. Okay? Here are my reasons. Reason number one, undisputed is just not something that happens often these days. Even when we think we're going to get undisputed, the fight might happen and somehow it isn't undisputed. I was so hyped that we were going to have undisputed at 135, and it's not undisputed. It ended up not being undisputed. It could have been. All the ingredients were there. Unfortunately, Lomachenko forgot to bring that most important ingredient, and that's the belt that actually counts toward undisputed. But it is what it is. Or the fights fall through altogether, even with a signed contract. And let me explain. Now I have to get a little bit more specific when it comes to this particular situation, and that is Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is the wild card to me. And the reason why he's the wild card is because Tyson Fury has already had a couple fights that he was supposed to have that he didn't. He was the only fight that I know of that didn't happen, and it wasn't Tyson Fury's fault that Tyson Fury was involved in, was when he was supposed to fight David Haye. but he was supposed to have a rematch with Klitschko, and they even had a press conference. That fight never materialized. He's supposed to have the rematch with Wilder. I'm not saying it's his fault, but he's still involved. That fight didn't materialize. And I want to say it was one of the Chisora fights. I'm not 100%. I know there's at least one other fight that he pulled out of, but I think the fight ended up happening later. I want to say it was one of the Chisora fights, but I'm not 100% on that. So Fury to me is a wild card. And I'm not going to get my hopes up just to be brought down. I'll put it to you this way. There's a channel by the name of New Media Boxing, I believe. Check him out. Don't let the name fool you. I know New Media is in the name, but he's not with that quote unquote new media movement. You know, he's very opposed. If you listen to the guy, his views are very opposed to theirs. But his name is like New Media Boxing, if I'm not mistaken. Check him out. But he asked a question on one of his lives recently. What fights do you want to see more than anything? And mine was that was one of the easiest questions I've ever been asked in this community. Number one on that list is heavyweight undisputed. It's long overdue. The heavyweight division has always been that division. Whether it's popular in the United States, it if I think the reason why it wasn't that popular was because we didn't have an undisputed champion for all them years. I think if we would have had an undisputed champ, would it have been like the most talked about division? Probably not, but it would have been talked a lot more if there was an undisputed champion. And that goes for all these divisions. But the heavyweight champ has always been a big deal. Always been a big deal. But because we haven't had an undisputed heavyweight champion in such a long time, it gets it gets dinged. And rightfully so. What up, DT3? Yeah, I mean there ain't no wrong with saying new media. I'm just saying like some people they get when they hear you say you're new media, they automatically assume that you're with certain guys, and that's not necessarily the case. But I told New Media Boxing, and he liked my response. I said, for me, heavyweight undisputed between, and because that fight um consists of AJ and Fury, that's what I want. If Wilder would have beat Fury, I would have said I would. My answer would have remained the same. I'm consistent with the undisputed, and yeah, I know it's probably unrealistic in many cases, but damn it, I'd still want the undisputed. That I'm gonna be consistent with that. My next one was the Haney and Lopez fight because that's also undisputed, and I want that cleared up. And then I said, and then after that, all the other undisputed fights, you could list them however you want. It doesn't matter to me what what order you put them in, as long as they're undisputed fights. The Charlo and Castano fight, the Taylor Ramirez fight, and any other undisputed fight that can be made. Those are the fights I want to be made the most. But it just seems like every time we're gonna get undisputed, there's always either one side who's unwilling to make the fight, one promoter who's unwilling to make the fight, or the fight gets made, but some asshole decides he's gonna elevate himself to franchise and fuck it all up. So I am hopeful that this quote unquote breaking news is real and that it's true and that it materializes. But I'm not gonna be saying it is a done deal. Um, until we at least get a press conference. And even then, I'm going to be extremely skeptical because, like I said, Tyson Fury had a press conference with Klitschko for that second fight, and it was for the second fight because I remember him with his shirt off, shaking his belly, talking about you lost. My bad, guys. I dropped my tablet. Oh, what up, Chain with Ice? Sorry, I didn't realize you were here. What up, Haplo? Hold on, I'm putting my headset back in. I use my headset because it's a good headset, and the tablet doesn't have the best mic on it, so I always use it. But yeah, I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I've got my hopes up too many times just to be let down. So, but yeah, even if there's a press conference, I'll be a little bit more convinced. Yeah, no doubt. Sporting Advantage. And what up, Urban Morales? Good to see you here, brother. You know, I know he's a true boxing fan. Not that any of y'all aren't. But I'm just saying, I know he keeps it real too. So you should definitely, whenever he's on a live, uh I don't know that I've heard him in a while, but he doesn't have a channel, but he jumps on lives and he always makes good points and he always makes good sense. Um, yeah, Fat Apples, the whole thing with the Klitschko's, yeah, that was an unfortunate circumstance. I can understand not wanting to fight your brother, um, you know, but it is what it is, man. But we are in the now, and I want this undisputed fight to happen. If it does, I'll be extremely happy. Yeah, Jedi. I'll I probably won't be able to do the whole thing, but I should at least be able to be on there. I should be able to share some of my time with you. I'll put it that way. But yeah, so that being said, yeah, the Boxing Jedi is doing the Boxing Insight tonight. So please check that out. I'm pretty sure you'll see Urban Morales there, because I know Urban Morales. I know that a lot of times he tends to show up at the Jedi's lives. That's what's up, you know. So please, y'all go ahead and give him some of your viewing time if you can. What up, James Jameson? Nanu. Yeah. So definitely rest in peace, Marvin Hagler. I did start off this live with paying my respects to him. If I had a bell, we would do the 10 bell salute. I don't have one, so I did the next best thing, which is giving my respect. But yeah, I'm just not gonna get myself too hyped for the undisputed fight till I have a little bit more proof that it's actually gonna happen. Um, but yeah, I think I covered everything. Hopefully sometime in the near future I'll get to do a panel again. I just want this video, or this would have normally been a video, but because I'm behind on my projects with Red Glove Media, um, I decided just to do a live. Just that way, I'm still putting my perspective out there. But because, like I said, the editing, it ain't no joke. If you never edited before, it takes time. It doesn't just happen. I wish I could just put clips together and then boom, it's done. But it's not that easy. There's planning, there's putting it together, and then there's rendering. All those things take time. and I'm severely behind schedule. Not that my customer has given me a deadline, but I also don't want it to be a month later is when he gets it, or gets them because it is multiple projects. So, and like I said, I'm learning how to balance all this. Um, so James Jameson is saying financial side done, date and venue should be easy, undisputed. So yeah, I mean that gives me more hope. And oh, what up, boxing algorithm? Also, real quick, big shout out to my Spanish channels in the YTBC. You got boxing algorithm, and it's nice to see Black and Brown has actually done a live all in Spanish with an all Spanish speaking panel. So you know, definitely if you're looking for content in Spanish, I don't know how often Black and Brown's gonna be doing it, but I would say sub to him and keep an eye out for when it says Spanish speaking only. And then Boxing Algorithm, his channel is just Spanish boxing talk by nature. So if you don't if you are looking for Spanish boxing content, they got you covered. We write out our shows. Yeah, well, I don't speak Spanish, boxing algorithm, so I wouldn't be able. I mean, I could join, I just wouldn't be able to contribute. And here's the thing about me: I don't like to mess up the flow. All right. So, for instance, if I'm on your live and you're conversating about something, and let's say at one point I have something really good to add, I will try my best to get in there some um when there's like some dead air. But if you guys are having a good boxing conversation and 10 minutes goes by, I just leave it. I rarely will try to bring the conversation back to where I had my idea. I like things to be a little bit more organic. So, what up, Raider? But yeah, I wish I did boxing algorithm. Here's the problem, right? My mom's Puerto Rican, my dad's Mexican. My dad has a bad temper, and my mom, she had a bad habit of making fun of the way my dad said certain things in Spanish. And I'm not going to give away too much information. Let's just say that my dad isn't the type to not lay hands on a woman. I didn't grow up in a home of domestic violence. My point is because my dad had a bad temper and he knew he had a bad temper, he refrained from speaking Spanish because he knew that if my mom said something slick about the way he pronounced things, he wasn't going to be able to um he wasn't going to be able to manage his temper. So he really refused to speak Spanish to my mom. And because of that, I didn't learn Spanish in the home. They didn't speak Spanish. My mom would when she didn't want me to know what she was saying, but my dad always responded in English. He would never he would never speak Spanish to my mom ever. So because of that, I never learned. So, and I'll admit it. When I was younger, I also I also had no desire to learn, and now I wish I did, because I'm sure if I did, I would have found a way. I would have found a way to learn. But my lack of desire to learn at that time, at that age where it would have been easier for me to learn, combined with the fact that my dad refused to speak Spanish with my mom, I ended up not learning Spanish. And my dad still sticks to his decision till this day. So yeah. What up, actual facts? I'm about to um close this out. Oh, what up, Canelo Alvarez? My bad. I saw you earlier and I meant to say what's up to you. I try not to lose track of the stuff I'm saying though, so I try to say what's up to people, and then I might see a name or two, and I'll be like, all right, I need to get back on track, and then I'll say what up to them. So my bad. I meant to say it way earlier. What up, Canelo Alvarez? Um, that's how your sister is. Yeah, it's a shame. I have multiple heritages, all speaking Spanish. Because if you go further down in the line on my mom's side, you have Spaniards. So, and it ain't that far down. My great grandmother was a Spaniard. So you got Spanish, you got Mexican, you got Puerto Rican, and who knows what else. And I don't speak Spanish. So yeah, but because I know that there's a lot of people in the community who are either bilingual, and might be looking for Spanish speaking channels, I like to send them y'all's way. So yeah, Boxing Algorithm, he does a majority of his content in Spanish. Every once in a while he throws a bone to me and does in English. But he definitely is a channel I could vouch for because I have spoke with him about boxing in English, and I've been on panels with him. Even though his channel is mainly Spanish, I've been on panels where he's talking boxing in English, and I can vouch for him. He's a good channel. So I go over there and just drop him a like and let him know I'm there to support him. And yeah, Black and Brown, he did a all Spanish live. I hope he keeps doing that from time to time. And definitely check out Black and Brown. He's his channel's growing. So, but yeah, uh, and it in actual facts, just so you know, I covered. I gave some respect to Hagler at the beginning. I talked a little bit about Chocolatito and Estrada, and then I talked about the AJ and Fury. So if any of those interest you, and I talked about them in that order, you know, definitely welcome to check out the playback. You're always appreciated, actual facts, and that goes for every last one of you guys. I come on here and I share some time with you, and you're actually doing the same when you're either in attendance or catching the playback. Either way, I appreciate it because otherwise I'm just talking to myself. And that's not what I'm on YouTube to do. I'm on here to talk boxing with you guys, to give you my point of view. And unfortunately, things have been just a little crazy for me lately. It's not been easy for me to make videos. That's why I'm doing the lives. Because even if this live goes 40 minutes, even if it goes 2 hours, I guarantee you that's less time than what it takes for me to edit even my shorter videos. So it's just easier for me to do it this way. I'll find a balance eventually where I'll be able to do my Red Glove Media stuff and my own content. It's gonna come with time. So I appreciate y'all bearing with me. But that's everything I got for this live. I hope y'all have a wonderful and blessed day. Peace. Oh, by the way, one last thing. Like I said before, don't forget tonight the Boxing Insight with the Boxing Jedi, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as of right now. Remember, always subject to change, but as of right now, that's what time it's happening. Check, do the conversion for your own time zone. Pacific, it's a 3 hour difference. Everything in between, y'all figure it out. But yeah, I should be on there at least for some period of time to contribute to the boxing conversation. But yeah, if you're available, please check out the Boxing Jedi tonight. And yeah, everybody be blessed. Peace.